Hi everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 2017. I'm Scotty Brand and this is episode 2 of Goldcrest Valley. Thanks very much for joining. So just to let you know what's happening today, we have got a couple of things to do on the farm. Biggest thing that's needing done is the animals are needing mucked out. So we're going to do that and we're going to feed them. But we also need to harvest some soybeans. So we're going to do that at the same time. So I've got my barrel core land train here. I like to call it the land train because it's two 70,000 litre containers in tandem. So I'm going to just move that over and empty the harvester. It's the New Holland CR1090. Got a nice healthy 14,500 capacity tank. It's full up at the minute, so I'm just going to park the barrel core. Just align it here with our pipe and empty that load. So yeah, so there's loads to do. We've got the muck out the animals, we've got the sheep to muck out, we've got the cows to muck out, we've got the pigs to muck out. We're going to have to do a wee bit of maintenance on their keep. For example, putting some hay in there, so we'll do that as well. We'll make sure they've got enough food, and yeah, that should keep us busy enough. So yeah, this is a pretty chunky field here. Just jump into the harvester here and switch it back on as soon as it's empty. There we go. So I'm just going to put a worker on here just to carry on while we go off and help out the animals. Yeah, so it's got a CR1090. It's got a fairly chunky tank, so that'll work away for a wee while. We'll just move this barrel core and land train out of the way and just make sure it doesn't get in the way of our worker. So I'll just put this on the side of the field. Yeah, so another nice day. Sun is shining. Looking forward to mucking out the animal shelters. They're in a bit of a state at the minute, so it's definitely needing done. I'll need to check and see what level. I just need to rotate through here and get to the sheep pen. Here we are. Okay, so I'll just put that pallet fork down and get our bucket. There we go. I'll get this feeding area mucked out. It's probably in a bit of a state at the minute. Yeah, I'm going to have to, there's our water tank, I'm going to have to fill up the water as well. I think it's getting a wee bit low as well, so I'll just top that up. Yeah, so I need to check and see how many animals I've got. I tend to sell them when it gets to the point where I've got a full transporter of animals. That's what I tend to do. For example, when the pigs get to 68 numbers, I will take 38. That's the full capacity of pigs in the animal transporter. So I'll fill 38 into the transporter and then take them off for sale to the selling point. Let's have a wee look and see here. Yeah, we're still not quite at the number to sell off. The actual cows, I think I can get 20 in the transporter. So when it gets to 40 cows, I'll load 20 into the transporter, for example, and take them off. Just couple up with this water tank here and fill that up. It's not needing much. I'll just give it a quick top up. There we are, sorted. Oops, dropped my bucket. That's fine. Oop. Let me switch the tool. There we go. Yeah, so that's the way I tend to do it. Funny thing is, I've noticed that the pigs are the ones that tend to breed the quickest. I don't know why that is. Not sure. Maybe it's, and they also need a much more varied array of food. So they do take longer to feed the pigs, but they do breed quickest. So you're getting a faster return for the extra work you put in, which is fine. That makes logical sense. Cows, you really just put your TMR in there. If you're not sure what TMR is, it's total mixed ration, which you've probably seen before, but if you haven't, it is basically just silage, grass mixture that you put into the you can go into the store and buy a mixing wagon, and all you need to do is literally just take your bale fork, stick in some grass, stick in some hay, stick in some silage, and it'll turn into TMR, total mixed ration. The only issue that I had with the mixing wagon is it's got quite a small capacity, so you wound up having to fill it up quite a lot. You know, you end up doing it every other day. So I decided to go into the mod store. I don't know if you've seen it. Just having a wee look here and see what the status is for food. Yep. So I had a wee look at the mod store. There's a modified mixer wagon, which is like 3 times the size of the standard one, or the basic one. So yeah, it definitely makes it a bit quicker. You can take literally a full of the modified wagon. I think it holds about 60 odd litres, 1,000 litres of TMR. That will probably do you. Just put some grass in here. There we go. I like the fact that you can just drop it. You can drive it straight in. I'll just check that. Yep, that's added in. That's us got our grass. Yeah. The fact with the modified mixing wagon, a full load or 60 odd thousand litres of it will do you 2 sittings. So you can fix it up, or fill it up rather, and then fill up the cattle's feed trough and leave the other half in the wagon for when you need it, which is fine. It saves on time. Anything that saves on time is a good thing. So yeah. So what I'm doing now is I'm just putting some hay into the hay feeding machine. Or when I say hay feeding, it doesn't actually feed them. What it does is it mushes up the hay bales and projects it into the cattle's sleeping area. So I like to put my hay bales in on a horizontal basis, as I've just shown you there. It means you can get 3 in. If you try to put them in vertically, you can only get 2 in. So I've sort of practiced trying to put them in vertically, and that means you can get more in. So definitely worthwhile trying that if you haven't already. It just means less trips to the tractor to fill it up. You know, I just like to save as much time as possible, and that's just another way you can do that. As you can see, you just reverse back. Oh, you need to clip it on the edge down a wee bit, and then you go. It just drops in nice and horizontal. You can then, I'll just reverse back, pick up another bale. As you can see, that will give me 3 bales in the wagon, in the mixer rather. And after I've done that, we'll switch it on and fill up the straw bedding. So that'll take care of the cows, I think. I might need to top up their water as well. So after I've done this, I'll go and have a wee look and see exactly how much water they've got. I'm sure they'll probably need a little top up. I've left the tank again. You'll probably see a pattern. I like to save time everywhere I can. I've got I'm a bit close for comfort here to this hay bale stack. I'm a wee bit OCD with my hay bales. You've probably noticed that. Anytime you watch my videos, you'll notice that the hay bales are always stacked nice and straight. If I knock them down, I immediately have to go and get the stacker and put them back where they were. The way they were rather. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, like I was saying earlier, I've put these in horizontally, which means I can get 3 of them in instead of just 2. I hate having to duplicate efforts, so this will allow me to put 3 in, and I'll be able to fill the straw up with the minimum of effort. There we are. What it does it one bale at a time. You have to reactivate, like I just did. As you can see there, it's going through the next bale. There we go. That's enough. Cows will be happy with that. And I can just park that there for the next time. Sorted. So I've got one of these at each animal pen. Here's our piggies. They look fairly happy there. So first thing we'll do is just clean out the feeding area so our piggies are happy and they'll get stuck into their food and grow nice and fat and multiply, and then we can sell some. Yeah, so I've got a straw bale machine just at the other side of this pen here, so I'll just take a wee run round and fill that up as well. And those bales look a wee bit untidy. After me just saying I like my bales nice and straight, those ones need fixed, so I'll go back and do that soon. I don't want anyone to see my unmessy bales. Oh, that's that water fill up, nicely done. And here's our straw machine here. So there's one bale in there. Hopefully that'll be enough to fill up the pig's pen. Let's just have a wee look and see. If not, I've got some there on the other side. We'll pop some in the back of the machine. Ah, there we go, that's enough. So just leave that there and pop back round to the other side of the pen. I think we're done here. Pigs are fed. We've got water. The feeding area is nice and clean. I'm sure they'll be delighted with that. Excellent. Okay, so let's rotate back round. Yep, the CR1090's full up again. So we'll jump in the barrel core and drag it round, get it back aligned with the harvester and empty that load out. Yeah, so field number 20, which we're on here, it's probably the biggest capacity field on the map, which is why I use it for trying to grow the most expensive grains, to try and maximise profit. Soybeans were without a doubt the most profitable crop. The funny thing is, in the old game it was actually canola, so I used to try and harvest as much canola as possible just to get this maximum amount of money. But with the new game, which is interesting, they've actually introduced some new crops, as I'm sure you've probably seen: sunflowers, soybeans, as well, amongst some others. So yeah, it just gives you some other options in order to try and get as much profit as possible. This is a great little tractor, the Case Puma. It's so versatile. It's got decent power. It's got a front loader, and it's fairly fast as well. I think it does 36 miles per hour, which is decent. It's not the fastest, but it is definitely the most versatile. I forgot to fill up the cow's water earlier, so I'm just going to do that now. Here we go. So they're full up, good to go. Happy cows. So I'm going to just rotate back round. Yep, that's emptied. The worker's off and running again. He's keen as mustard, this worker. So I'm just going to move this land train out of the way for him, so he can harvest away to his heart's content. There's still quite a bit of work to do here, actually. I think there's probably another 2 or 3 loads to go, or 2 or 3 runs rather. Maybe 3. Actually, that looks quite a lot. I think there might be 3 more loads. Normally this field yields about 85, I think it's about 85,000 litres of soybeans. Okay, so I'm looking at our animal gauges, they're all looking quite good. So I think we can leave the animals to it. Right, what can we do now? Okay, so we're going to just, I think I've got a wee bit of, just a little bit, I've got a little bit of TMR left. So I'm going to give that to the cows. There we go. Yeah, that wasn't much at all. Is that going to be enough? Should we fill up fill up the mixer wagon again. I don't know. Yeah, I think we should. I think we should definitely fill that up, so I'm just going to run over and get a case Puma again. It's already got the bale fork on it, which is excellent. Let's leave that water tank here. Now I bought a new bale fork. It's one of the ones that can take 4 bales at once. Ah! I've dropped my bales. I'm so annoyed about that. Although they have fell in a nice uniform fashion. Definitely not happy with that. I'm going to have to get the bale stacker and tidy that up later, or that will just drive me insane. My OCD meter will be twitching and going absolutely berserk. So, yep. Sorry about that mess. I will tidy that up with the bale stacker in a little while. So I'm just going to put 2 bales in. As I said, I bought a brand new, again this is a mod, it's on the mod store. It's a bale fork that can take 4 bales at once. The good thing is, you know, well a little bit of practice you can lift up 2 or 3 bales with this bale fork, yeah? But accidents do happen, as you've just seen. You have to be really careful trying to lift 3 or 4 bales with this. In fact, it's a little bit counterproductive because you have to go so slow to avoid any accidents that it actually takes far too long anyway. So as I said, if you pop into the mod store, there's a bale fork there that can hold 4 bales. The good thing is it's got a back on it, so the bales don't fall backwards. So you can literally lift 4 up and drive. It actually grabs onto the bales as well, so you can drive. You can drive along without, you know, in the safe knowledge that it's not going to fall over. It's not going to fall off because it clamps onto the bales when it lifts them. So yeah, definitely recommend getting one of those. Although I will say that the modified bale fork that holds 4, it doesn't fit on tractors front loader. It only fits on the front the wheel loader, which I've got here. So just to bear that in mind, in case you're trying to add the tractor, try to lift the 4 bale fork with the tractor, it won't work. You're sitting scratching your head wondering, why is this not working? It's not going to work. It only fits on the wheel loaders. So I've got the wheel loader here. This is, as a matter of fact, this is a modified. And you see that changing colour. That's when you know it's mixed into TMR. So there you go. You need to get the ration. You need to get the mixture at the right ratio. And when it changes colour, that's when you know it's the right ratio. Yeah, so this is a modified bucket for the wheel loader. This holds 11,000 litres, which is great. Makes it a lot quicker. Means you can fill up your modified mixer wagon a lot quicker as well. So with the combination, you know, it's a real time saving thing. You've got the 4 bale bale fork, and you've got your 11,000 litre wheel loader bucket, and you've got your modified mixing wagon. I'm just filling up the rest of this TMR here. That should fill up the cow. There we go. That's the cow's got a full mixture, or a full trough rather, with the TMR. And again, it's really important to use TMR because they produce it better, more milk. Okay, so that's the end of that video. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.